Hello, Flight Simulator fans. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to have a fun flight today, hopefully, although I won't lie. I just tried to record this video and failed. We'll get more into that in just a second. I'm preparing for PilotEdge. I'd like to do it on stream tomorrow, the first flight between non-towered airports. Just getting my feet wet with the whole PilotEdge software, doing a first flight, non, you know, no controlled airspace, no ATC, just really basic comms, communicating with other people that might be in the traffic pattern and all of that. I'm sure it'll be interesting. I do have 13 hours of real world flight time, literally 20 years ago, and communications were my weak point. So I have my little communication cheat sheet here. We're going to be flying from Oceana to New Kuyama, New Kuyama, I guess. Oh, come here, Mr. Ed. How you start crying right when I get on the recording? I'm not moving, so you get used to it. You're gonna have to get comfortable for a while. All right, let's get to it. I did buy the Just Flight, basically the Aero Turbo pack or whatever it is. It's the Aero 3 and the Turbo Aero 3 and Aero 4. It's like each of the planes is $45, so you'd spend $90. But if you buy the bundle, you get it for $64.99, or it's like $70 after tax. It's supposed to be a pretty good airplane. I mean, it seems realistic. It's not too complicated. It has a nice basic autopilot in it. I will say one thing about the flight plan here. This is very, very strange. I think it's something that Asobo, or Microsoft Asobo, built in when you make a flight plan. And I don't know if it's just VFR or what, but it will add these waypoints that are not part. Like right now, we should have takeoff, one waypoint, and our destination airport, and that should be it. But you'll see when we get into the GPS, it adds this time CLI. And like, for example, on the last flight, the wind was the other way. Like it's got us going off of this runway, 11. I was on runway 29. And it had me come out and then do this sharp loop. And I couldn't turn so sharp that I could keep up with the loop. And what happened was it basically... It said I never hit the first waypoint, even though I never programmed that waypoint in. And so I had to do direct to get everything to work, and it was a real hassle. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I did Google this, and it turns out that's where I found out it's like an Asobo thing that they added in SU5, whatever that is. I don't know, but it goes way back, and it's really aggravating to me. Because I don't think that's realistic. Okay. All right. So here we are. We got the Aero. State restored. I'm having it do restore state every time so that it keeps track of how I left the aircraft. So if we look outside, we should see all the... Okay. It does not persist the tie downs and the wheel chocks. You know what? It might. Hold on just a second. These cats, I'll tell you what, they're mad that I have to make the video again. Anyway, while we're outside here, let's do a controls check. Ailerons looking good. Elevator looking good. And let's check the rudder. Rudder looking good. I think we can check flaps, even though I thought these were hydraulic, but maybe they're cable. They would have to be, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be working right now. Let's do a quick check. We've got our parking brake set. Let's go ahead and hit the fuel. I'm going to hit the battery to on. That's not right. That's not right. I'm not sure. I put more fuel than that in it in the aircraft menu. Let's go back up to here. Fuel. I've reset this. I don't know why this is like... Oh, I know why. Because it reestablished the state from the previous time. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, now we're good. All right, all right. Jeez. Now that I've killed the battery, why don't we recharge the battery here? There we go. Now, this is weird. It goes to 8 volts, 8.8. Now, I think it'll still start, but it's definitely, it should be 12. So, I don't know. This was a problem initially. I don't think it was a problem. I think they kind of fixed it, but we need to turn the battery on, which is going to drain it even further. But we need to go out and let's check our lights. Okay, that guy's working. That guy's working. I don't know how to get to the front from that. There's our landing light. We can see that is on, so that's good. Let's go back inside the aircraft now, and let's go ahead and hit the fuel pump on. Let's put in a little bit of throttle. Oh, turn that off. Turn it off. We didn't set that guy. All right, one more time. There it goes. Saw a little jump there indicating some fuel flow. Turn this off. We'll put a little bit of mixture in, crack the throttle. We'll go full power on the RPMs. Let's go ahead and we're going to hit the alternator on as well. You can barely reach that without turning that off. Okay. Okay, we got it going. Get that mixture in. Let's bring those RPM back to 1400. So oil pressure is good. Oil temp is low. Fuel pressure looks good. Okay. All right. Very good. And I think this is good enough for here. Basically, you have, so notice this. This is what I was talking about. See this time CLI? If we look at our flight plan, that doesn't exist. But if for some reason you don't hit this, like you don't fly this perfectly, you won't fly over this made-up waypoint. And you'll be stuck. You'll have to do direct to. And if you're using the real, like look at this GPS. There's a different GPS in here. Well, I don't want to go over. It's the GPS 100. Super simple, not a glass thing. And yeah, it's just bad. It's just bad. So we're going to try to fly it and hit it. But, you know, we'll just have to see how it goes. It may or may not work. Let's go ahead and hit the pitot on. And we're going to let things warm up a little bit. We'll try the run up, but we'll do it down. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we're right at the end of the runway that we need to take off from, so that's good. You can hide the electronic fuel bag like that. Looks like we will have to dodge a fuel truck. A little crazy. Let's see. Now, we don't want to run this guy over. We do have a little bit of room here. I should have given him a clearer prop, but you know, Programmer Airlines, this is not good. It's not a good start for realism, is it? Okay, so at this point, I would be ready to taxi. And so we're going to announce that I'm ready to taxi. I have my cheat sheet up here, so I'm going to go ahead and act like, okay, I've engaged whatever my push to talk button is. Oceana traffic, Piper 221, Papa Alpha at transient parking, taxiing to runway 11. Disconnect. Good communication right there, I think. Guys, if you know what if you see me doing something wrong, please comment down below. I can use your help. I mean, don't just beat me up for no reason. Like if you know what you're talking about and you see me doing something wrong and you can help me out, that would be great. Don't just brutalize me for no reason, okay? I love you guys. Let's see how the recording is going. Let's just make sure. Okay, everything looks like we're okay. Because I don't want to have to redo this again. The problem was L88, L88, which is the new Kuyama, our destination today, is closed indefinitely. So you can't create a flight plan for it in SkyVector. You can't select it. Now you can still pull it up in the airport stuff. What is this? I have a bug on my monitor. Oh, great. I squished him on my monitor. All right. Gosh, I don't know how we're going to get around. I don't know why. I have turned off all of the airport traffic, trying to get rid of all of this crap that is always getting in my way. I don't know how these fuel boxes work either. I thought they just automatically refilled your tanks, but I don't think they do that. But anyway, we're going to come around it this way. And we're going to try to get, turned into the wind a little bit and do our run-up check. Let's go ahead and I think that's close enough for government work here. Let's bring the RPMs up to 2,000. Alright, holding tight there. We're using the Velocity 1 flight yoke and throttle quadrant today. Let's go ahead and go on to the left mag. And we're looking for, I don't know, a 50 to 100 RPM drop. That looks good. About 75 it looks like. We'll go back up to both mags and then over to right. Same thing, looking good. Back over to full. And let's take the prop through its full pace here. Pull it all the way out, make sure we don't lose power. All right, looking good, looking good, looking good. Let's bring those RPM back down. Let's prepare. Let's do our takeoff checklist, and then we will announce our departure to anybody who would be listening on PilotEdge. Guess I have to learn my frequencies too. Okay, we got the fuel is on the proper tank, check. Electronic fuel pump on, check. Engine gauges checked. We have already done that. Alternate air closed. That is this guy right here. Check. That's good. Seatbacks erect. He said erect. Mixture set full. Prop set full. Check that. Trim tab. Missed that. And it's weird because you kind of can't see it. So I think, what view was I using? Okay, so I think it was this view, and then I zoom out, and then I kind of look down. Okay, there it is. It's pretty well set. So we'll just kind of maybe bring it in just a little bit. I am going to go ahead and set 1 notch of flaps for takeoff. Let's go back to position 1 here. There we go. All right, so far so good. Let's check this out now. Let's see, the door's latched and the air conditioner is off. I think that this is the air conditioner here. The fan is set to off. We're latched. And we're latched. So we are good to go. It is time to announce to the world that we are ready to go. Oh boy, here comes Kitty. Don't start pressing buttons on the keyboard. You guys can't see her. She's not in the view. Let's go ahead and get comfortable here. Okay, Oceana traffic. Piper 221 Papa Alpha departing runway 11. Departing the pattern to the east, climbing 7,500 Oceano. Communication made. Let us taxi into position here. I'm going to go into this mode on this guy. And let's release the parking brake and get taxiing over to our runway. Let's check. We'll have to make sure we're clear that way. Probably going to have to... use track IR for the real flight. Hey, here we are, runway 11. Okay, see, this has been happening too, where for some reason it's like my joystick hat stops working and I can't look around. That's very aggravating. All right, we are clear for takeoff. Let's go ahead and go. Okay, I don't know why it had me taxiing over to that other area there. All right, positive rate. Lots of trees. Let's get some gear up. Okay. Landing gear is good. Let's go ahead and bring the flaps up. Again, you've really got to fly the plane here, because if you miss that waypoint, you're screwed. We'll be doing, oh crap, see, I'm already getting into instrument conditions. I'll have to make sure that the weather is clear when I go to do my flight. I'll have to set it that way. We could trim down a little bit. Let's try to climb at a little bit, at least 90 knots. And if you guys know how to get rid of this time CLI, please tell me how. Please tell me how. It's agonizing. The other GPS, look, there it goes again. I cannot. It's not work. What is happening, dude? Oh my God, we're gonna miss that. We're gonna miss that. Damn it. Damn it, damn it. Come on. Come on, get back on the flight plan. Come on. Come on. Easy. Wow. Yeah, this is a real pain. This is... Okay, good, good, good. We got it. So, okay. Let's go ahead and get the heading pretty much ready. We're going to hit on the autopilot. I forgot to start my timer, so screw it. All right, we've got heading hold engaged now. Let's turn left. Start getting back on the flight plan here. What's our track? 7-6. Come on, come on, come on. Got to be a little careful with the scroll wheel on this guy. And we're climbing at about 90 knots. I'm okay with that. We can bring this manifold pressure back just a smidge. And I don't like relieving the RPMs. I haven't read the manual on RPMs after takeoff, but okay. And it looks like we're going to have to go. Okay, looks like track is 8.3. Direct track 7.6, but the track is 8.3. And we are climbing. We can turn off our electric fuel pump there. That's only for use when we, oh boy, we didn't set our transponder. And we don't need much else, so we're okay there. $32 miles to FLW, and then it's a pretty short trip to the airport. Now, the problem I had with the last flight is that the airport textures were, I could not see. I could not see the runway. I mean, I flew right over top of it. It's like a very dark runway, and it's very dark ground. And I mean, I was so low to the ground, and I didn't see it. So that was really frustrating. Something I'm going to have to look out for. And also, yeah, going to have to watch out, because this is not VFR conditions, right? You might be able to fly around some of this, but I don't know. I try to use real world weather, but that's not going to fly, I don't think, for PilotEdge. Let's check. Exhaust gas temperature is doing okay. I'm not going to lean out just yet. climb up to 7,500. And then we'll use the altitude hold, which is this tiny little Piper logo under here. I don't know if that's a hack that they just built into the plane, like if the real plane has it or not, but it's pretty handy that this one has it. And the electronic drum drama continues. You may have heard in one of my older videos that I bought a drum set, like an electronic drum set, about, I don't know, it's been about 2 weeks now, maybe 2.5 weeks. And I bought a cheap, it's called the Alesis Turbo Mesh, right? It was an entry-level kit, about $350. So, you know, not cheap, but that's not expensive for electronic drums by any stretch. It's the low end of the spectrum. And it arrived, and it was broken. The hi-hat and the ride cymbal, super low volume compared to the rest of the kit. So that day, I opened a ticket with Alesis for warranty coverage. They didn't even respond to me for a week. Okay, so they finally responded to me after a week, asked me a couple of questions, and said, okay, we think it's the cable that connects all the pieces to the brain. We think it's just got a problem. And this is weird because I'm right on the flight plan, but it's saying I'm not, even though, I mean, we're on GPS. So I do not know what is happening. I don't know why some of this stuff is working the way it is, but thank God we have GPS. So yeah, they finally sent me the new cable. It took a week to get here. I just got it today. I take it out of the box, hook everything up, and it still don't work. Still don't work. In fact, it got worse. The hi-hat stopped working at all. Like, it doesn't make any noise now. It was at least making a tiny noise before. Doesn't make any noise now. So it's broken, and you know, it just sucks when that kind of thing happens, right? Like, I'm all excited. I'm going to learn the drums. I sign up for Drumeo, which is the online website that teaches you how to play drums, and you get a month free trial. Well, I'm like two weeks into that, and it's almost over. I can't do the exercises because I don't have the equipment. It's really, really frustrating here. I think we'll climb better if I bring those RPM back a little bit. Change that. You know, won't be cutting so much through the air. We did get a little bit of a boost there. Climbing at 90 knots, which is good. That's a good pace. I mean, as far as I can tell, I'm on the flight plan, so I don't know why this is doing this, and I don't know why this is doing this. I'm sure it's something I did wrong. Gotta be me, right? Programmer Airlines. And so those two little announcements were good until we get close. We have to go to, when we're about 10 miles away, call out to New Cayuma and tell them what we're doing. And we will enter the runway left downwind. Left traffic is standard. I've been doing a little bit of research into traffic patterns. So that's good. Learned a little bit there. And we're coming up on 7,000 feet. Let's lean that mixture out a little bit. Get a little bit more power out of that. There goes our vertical speed. There we go. And as soon as we get up there, we'll lock in the altitude hold, and yeah, we'll trim up. I think the cruise speed's about 135 knots, something like that. Kind of getting close. I'm going to dial in a little downward trim here just so the transition to the altitude hold won't be too violent. 7,300. Again, there's a little piper. You can see the word piper. If you click anywhere else in here, it's going to give you trouble. But if you click that guy, locks in the heading hold or the altitude hold, and then you're set. And lock that baby in. There we go. All right. We're pretty well established now. Let's keep an eye. We got 22 miles to FLW. Again, this time climb, I just don't like this at all. I just don't like it. It should not be part of the flight plan. I don't understand why they do that. You're trying to make a realistic flight simulator, and that's how you roll? No, I don't think so. Okay, I mean, we're pretty well set here. We're just kind of waiting for speed to come back up now that we are... Oh my God. I don't know if it's the button on this controller or what, but man, that's bad. Let's get a little bit... I mean, we're almost full power on the manifold pressure, but we have... we're sitting at about... yeah, I want to be sitting at about 2,400. How are we doing? What is this, 120 knots? Yeah, it seems like we could be going faster, but we've got lots of fuel. You can tell that the fuel's going down on the left tank, so let's go ahead and hit the fuel pump on. And we'll switch over to the right tank. And we'll just make sure that that guy... We could turn off the landing light for now. Okay, it didn't quite lock us in at 7,500, but 7,600 is close enough for Programmer Airlines work. And we'd have to cross that bridge on, you know, if PilotEdge asked me to go down to another altitude, I guess I'd have to cross that bridge when we get there. All right. Okay. Now I'm confused because FLW is up here. Oh, what is this? What is this? It messed up the flight plan. And what's weird is I think this knows it because it's saying we're going to FLW. Holy cow. What a mess. Can I get a... No, that's just relative to where I am. Damn it. Why is this thing like this? It is wonky. All right. It says we're going to FLW, but it looks like I'm... it's got it wrong. What is... I put it in right. I do not know what in the hell is going on. I don't know if it's this aircraft or the sim. I mean, if it's the aircraft, it's a problem. Good Lord. Why? Just why? I mean, I guess when I hit it, it'll switch over to the final leg. I don't know. I think our airport's right over around in here. I mean, we kind of come over this area. It's actually a little bit over the mountains. We can be descending here before too much long. Just, I mean, you can start a slow descent. There's no reason to rush it. Let's see. 4.6. Yeah, that's about what we're pointing at, so we'll just use that. We'll get close. I mean, I'm sure this is the built-in GPS, so I don't know if because I did a flight before this one, I completed that flight, so I wouldn't imagine that it would... I mean, it doesn't keep it. The flight plan's obviously been reset, so I don't know. Come on, Asobo. Get it together. Never a dull moment, man. I'll tell you what. I think flight sim flying's harder than real world flying. Yeah, man, with those electronic drums, I am seriously like, I'm so pissed. When I hooked those things up today and it didn't work again, I about lost my mind. Like I was about to just take the whole kit and just throw it in the trash. Like done. Goodbye. I hate to throw away $350, but at this point, I'm just so frustrated with the whole situation that yeah, I'm just not having a good time. not, not having a good time. I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to start a descent here, so we're going to end the altitude hold. Just unhook that, and then we'll drop that manifold pressure back. Yeah, we'll put it about 18 inches. Just get a nice slow descent going on. I think we're pretty well flying at FLW, so we should cross over. As long as we cross over it, then we just got to make a violent turn. We need pattern altitude about 3,300 feet. 3,200 feet. I think it's 2,200 feet for the field altitude at L88, New Cayuma. We'll enter left downwind, so we'll also need to make sure that we are to that side of the airport. More importantly, I have to find the airport and find that runway. Now that I've been there once, I think I'll have a little bit easier of a time. But we shall see. And we got about 500 feet per minute descent rate, so nice and slow. And you can actually bring the flaps in, the first notch of flaps in pretty early. You can extend the landing gear up to like at 129 knots indicated. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I wouldn't have thought that. But basically in the test flight that they have in the documentation, great documentation with the planes, by the way, they had it going into, you did the first notch of flaps, and then you did the landing gear, and then you did the last two while you were kind of flying your approach. It's over here somewhere. I should be able to find it this time. I think these mountains right here, the highest peak right in this area, 4,200 feet, like where we're going to be flying, as far as the VOR goes. So we should be the VOR. I don't want to aggravate anybody with that lingo. And we could always drop this manifold pressure back if we needed to. We go down to about 15 inches without any problem. If you get below 15 inches, then it starts complaining at you, thinking you're trying to land and you should have the runway, or you should have the landing gear down already, and you'll basically have an annoying horn yelling at you the whole time. Yeah, we're about 6,500 feet. I had trouble seeing runways when I was doing my real world flight lessons. I remember a couple times I was like, "Where is the airport?" And I find that Flight Simulator is actually very much like that. Sometimes Aerofly is like that too, although Aerofly seems to be a little bit easier to identify. All right, I think we're flying right at it now, so it's coming right for us. As soon as I can tell how far, I think we're 12 miles from the airport, so we'll wait till we hit 10 miles, and then we'll make our announcement that we're, where we are, what our altitude is. Come on. Hit it, baby. Usually it'll flip over a little bit early. Come on. I'm afraid this is not going to work. In which case, we'll just fly the lines. Okay. Time approach. See, now there's another waypoint that doesn't make no sense. All right, we're gonna turn 120. Okay, we're 15 miles out. Whoa, look at that bank. We got to be a little careful with that since we're not doing altitude hold. But let's go ahead and... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, easy, easy, easy. Okay, I think I know what happened there. I touched the trim to start trimming out some of the speed, but the last time it was engaged was with the autopilot. And so when I finally re-engaged it, okay, yeah, we need to break off this way a little bit. Mr. Ed's going crazy back here, guys. I don't know what's happening. All right, I am. Let's go. Let's get some flaps in. Let's bring up that. You got that first notch there. And let's go ahead and prepare for landing. We'll go ahead and set landing lights on, get our fuel pump on, mixture full forward, prop full forward. And that prop full forward is really going to give us a nice bit of drag for a minute. Come here, buddy. What's the matter? What's the matter with you? He thinks I've been flying too long. And he's not wrong. All right, 12 miles out. At 10 miles, we'll make our announcement. And we are coming through 5,000 feet, so doing pretty good on our descent. 100 knots yet, so we're not going very slow. I would like to try to zoom in. I would have binoculars with me. Maybe that's our runway right there. We definitely need to come across. I mean, I guess I'm thinking that it's because we're going to enter left downwind. I don't want to interfere with anybody who is departing this airport, right? Mr. Ed, you got to stop fussing, dude. Chill out. Oh boy, this isn't looking good. I'm not seeing anything. I might have to rethink the whole thing if I can't do it a second time, right? Like I'm not ready to do it tomorrow. I still do a stream though. We just try to get better. All right, we're at 10 miles. Let's go ahead and announce, and we'll say, hit the button. New Cayuma traffic, Piper 221, Papa Alpha, 10 miles west, 4,000, entering left downwind, runway 28, full stop, New Cayuma. All right, let's bring this back a little bit. Come on. I remember from my last approach. Okay, see, like I was thinking it was over here, but that's not it. That's like a little town. Oh, Mr. Ed, you gotta stop, dude. Oh, Jesus. He wants me to brush him. Like I can sit and brush him right now. You just don't understand. Jesus. Got a demanding ass cat right there. All right. We're coming up on 3,200, so let's put in some more manifold pressure here. We don't want to go, don't go crazy, don't go crazy. Actually, we can go ahead. I'm going to turn the heading hold off and the autopilot off. And is this our guy right there? I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and bring the landing gear down. Yeah, that looks like about the right heading. I think that's it. Let's trim out a little bit of the speed. Would like to see it better than that. Yes, that's our guy. Okay, now we're supposed to enter the pattern at a 45, so let's try to at least accomplish that. Watching our altitude here. This gets pretty busy. I feel like I would have been cutting in front of people right there. Like, I think my flight plan needs to be a little bit better where I wouldn't cut in front of the runway like that. New Cayuma traffic, Piper 221 Papa Alpha, left downwind, runway 28. Full stop, New Cayuma. Okay. Let's get some more flaps in here. Try to get parallel to the runway. It feels real heavy right now. It feels real slow. I feel like I can't get power to climb. A lot of trees right at the end of the runway as well. But I got speed, so I'm going to keep trimming. And we'll try to get a little bit more lateral separation from the runway here. New Cayuma traffic, Piper 221 Papa Alpha, left base, runway 28, full stop, New Cayuma. Okay, we gotta get final quick. New Cayuma traffic, Piper 221 Papa Alpha, final, runway 28, New Cayuma traffic. A little bit high. Let's go ahead and, I mean, we could probably make the airport from here, but there we go. We'll put in, I don't want to get too far behind on the power. Come on now. Easy does it. The plane itself feels very alive. There we go. Little flare. And we are down. Bring up the flaps. Let's get clear of the runway. We could turn off that very noisy electronic fuel pump. Let's slow down a little bit more here. And New Cayuma traffic, Piper 221 Papa Alpha is clear of the runway. Very nicely done, I think. Leave your critique below. Especially if you've flown on PilotEdge and have some tips for me. I would appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what these guys are doing. I don't care. I'm parking right here. Programmer airline style. All right, let's oh good, we didn't even turn on our radios. We didn't need those. We'll have to get some frequencies down to make sure I'm on the right channels. But I think we did it. Let's see. Let's turn off all of our lights. And the pitot. We have pretty much everything turned off anyway. But I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't think so. There we go with that. Hit off the alternator. Hit off the battery. We get our... Look at this. It didn't count anything. I mean, Flight Simulator, dude. It's got issues. I'm just going to say that. It's got issues. All right, we'll go ahead and do all of these so that we're pretty much good to go. We can cut that off. And let's unlatch. And open the door. There we go. So I think we made it, guys. I think we did it. I think that would have been a successful flight. Again, with the comms being limited when you're in uncontrolled tower, you know, all uncontrolled. I don't have to interact with ATC at all, so that kind of helps, right? Beautiful plane, good flight. Hope you enjoyed it. Join me tomorrow night for the live stream at 8 o'clock if you can. I'm going to get the PilotEdge software installed, and we'll try this flight and just cross our fingers, hope we can find the runway and do the flight like we just did. I think it went pretty well. Thank you very much for watching. Keep your eye on the channel for more Flight Simulator content, and we'll see you next time. Like and subscribe.